Rumors are flying that Bob Iger's planned Avatar experience at Disneyland might actually be at Disney's California Adventure, or at least that's what a panelist claiming to work with Disney has said. But now Disney seems to be backtracking on their behalf. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. This is Jonas J. Campbell from That Park Place, where we cover entertainment, streaming, theme parks, and video games twice a day. Maybe hit the like button or subscribe if you're interested in that kind of thing. Well, let's get into it.
I have to get this out of the way because I don't know how else to say it. You guys said that, obviously I'm not as attuned to the parks as you guys are, but an Avatar land for California Adventures?
Oh, yeah.
Where is it going to go? I just don't know where it's going to go. Are we going to start building levels up? Like, that's insane to me. But yeah, happy to be here, guys. So excited.
I can't believe you just said that. There's some Imagineer or executive at the park that just said, what if we did a 2-story
Wait
park?
a second. Wait a second.
We could build to the sky.
Just one giant tower in Anaheim going straight up.
Straight up, 300 feet up. They have the
There's
permits to do it.
Your environmental impact report right there. And we have one more guest today, a man who is all over the internet, the wise Gandalf-like sage. And as soon as I said Gandalf, everybody knows who I'm talking about. He's a man who is literally growing as we speak. Culture Casino.
Wow. Hey, hello, everybody, and good morning. Thank you. Oh, wow. I get a little clap. This is amazing. And I agree with your assessment. Spencer is energy personified. So
he's fantastic.
I try to bring it. I got so many opinions.
I remember early on, he said I do tokusatsu poses before he starts any video, and he has to cut them all out when he sends them over. And I said, no. Leave them in. That's fine. I'll cut them out. So the next one I got had all of that in it. It was wonderful.
Well, here's what I think they should do to get Avatar or I guess Pandora in there. I think they should do what they were going to do with the Iron Man coaster there and put it where the theater is and bend it around towards where I don't even know what that's called anymore. Is it still Super something limousine? I don't know. Or that it is.
I think that's the Monsters Inc. right now.
The Monsters now, yeah. Yeah, it was Superstar Limousine, and then it became the Monsters, right? And so, I mean, that would be the perfect place to put it, because then you kind of solve a lot of problems. You get rid of the idea that this is a fake Hollywood set at the end of that one street, and you wall off another side of the California Adventure from the hotel, so they won't have visibility in that way either, just like how they built Cars Land.
But culture, that requires effort and money and cash and ambition. I wouldn't put it past them for just retheming the Grizzly Peak area, and redoing Soarin' a little bit and just calling it a day.
I don't know how they could possibly get rid of one of their most popular attractions. And
they wouldn't be getting rid of it. They'd be upgrading it, culture. It'd be taking on an IP. It'd be representing the brand.
I don't know that I would put that there.
Okay, so I was really meaning to just mention this story because it's still ongoing. So it was mentioned at some kind of conference. Bash, do you know the actual name of the conference?
Yes, IAPA, the International Amusements.
Is that like the Korean name for a father?
No,
it's a legit thing.
It's amazing.
Go ahead, culture.
No, it's incredible. Vash, have you been? Because it's phenomenal.
I have always wanted to go. It's the Global Association of the Attractions Industry.
Okay, I have to point out that starts with a G.
Well, okay, so it's the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions.
We're off to a great start.
It's just being provided by those guys. And look, no, the industry comes together. You have stuff from B&M, you have stuff from Intamin, you have stuff from all these attractions providers, right? They show off their wares, they show off their latest and greatest attraction concepts, right?
Yeah.
And then you have audio animatronics guys out there. You have all the stuff that goes into setting up a theme park. And a lot of times Disney will have a presence there. In fact, I believe it was Mickey's Toontown when that was unveiled to be going over a little bit of a refurbishment, right, in its life cycle. That was announced at IAPA.
Yeah. So they also get the Pandora tech came from an IAPA event. The Pandora's Box was the ride system that they acquired that they kind of shifted about a bit on how it ran and operated, and that's how you ended up with the multi-level Soren
Mhm.
that is Flight of Passage. And
I'll say this: Universal might be making a big announcement here at IAPA. I'm getting word here from my sources.
So it's still going on?
It is actually kicking off here right now at 10 o'clock.
All right. Well, so basically, someone, and I don't know exactly who, an Imagineer that is working with Disney, or whether, well, I say Imagineer who is working with Disney. That's a loaded term, isn't it? Someone who is working on a Disney project, whether or not they actually are employed by the company, said that the Avatar experience is going to be at Disney's California Adventure. I've never been to Disney's California Adventure, but I'll say that that doesn't quite jive with my image of what that park is like. I don't know, and this is not a compliment when I say this, and this is not a compliment to Universal Studios when I say this. I think about the Nest warehouse in Universal Orlando for the Transformers ride, where it is just literally a huge box in the middle of the park. Which worked when it was like, okay, it's a film studio thing, but now it's a Transformers ride, and maybe you go in there, and the only Pandora experience you get is when you are inside, and maybe they're going to say, okay, well, when you get into your avatar, when we link you up with your avatar, then we'll transport you. I don't know that that's what's going on, but that's all I'm imagining at Disney's California Adventure right now.
So like I've been to I'm not as versed on the theme parks as you guys, but I have been to California's Adventure out there in Anaheim, in California, obviously. And that's the read I kind of have too, Jonas, because it feels like such a tonal mismatch, because California's Adventure is more of a, I almost want to say it's like less of a theme park than a theme park. Like the theme is California, but you're in California, so it's kind of just like walking around. It's weird. It's a very odd sort of park, and it doesn't really have a lot of those like IP like the IPs are there. Like there's a Little Mermaid ride, there's the Guardians Tower now, but they're not really the focus so much as it was a sort of faux mini California.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're throwing in Pandora. I really don't know how that's going to work. I kind of do. As soon as you said, the box and the avatars, I definitely feel like it's going to be something like that. Something shoved off to the side.
Just to add to the plot here, which has thickened since then, Scott Guston was one of the people that originally reported about this comment, which the comment definitely happened. He says that someone reached out to him from the Disney company and said, we are making no statements, and we are not aware of anybody making statements on our behalf. We haven't approved any statements about where the Avatar experience will be or what that Avatar experience is.
Right.
Okay, so going back to D23 just a little bit ago, there was a lot of blue sky kind of stuff. There were a lot of, oh, well, in 10 years, we're going to be doing this, and we're thinking about doing this, and we might be doing a lot of what we might do. I'm reminded of that scene in Flight of the Conchords where he talks about, you used to talk about getting with some pretty hot women, Brit. Jermaine. And he's like, well, I never got with any of them, but they were pretty hot, though. Yeah, they were. The Disney company is essentially in this phase. Like, we've got a lot of ideas, and there's some pretty great ideas that we think we might have in about 10 years.
Yeah, exactly, right? No, they're trial ballooning stuff, and maybe, hey, this is what this is, right? Maybe it's like an Avatar experience like the one over, I believe, in the Asian Pacific region where they've set up, where you just kind of go through this exhibit of Avatar, right? And they trial balloon it, and they see what the response there is going to be like, and maybe they set up shop for a for real Avatar land or experience somewhere else. That could be it, right? Or it could just be, hey, look, Bob Iger may have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew when he came in, didn't quite know the company's financials, puts out this big old statement on the quarterly earnings saying, we're going to build an Avatar experience, capitalizing off of a film that just did $2 billion at the box office. And then, you get the financials and you go, ooh, can't do that. So what do? You re-theme an area. Something like, this is why I bring up the Grizzly Peak area, because you can see the Smoke Jumper's grill there. You can see the Soarin'. It's kind of like a military installation. Those could stand in for little, setups for the researchers or the colonizers of Pandora, right? You go into a glider experience that takes you over Pandora. You set up some, faux foliage, right? You set up you retheme the retail
Mm-hmm.
next door. I mean, you could do this very easily without much money. And now you have new enthusiasm for an entire area, similarly with what they did with San Francisco recently.
And I just have to say, I hate the idea of them getting rid of changing Grizzly Peak. That is as much as California Adventure struggled at the start, I think Grizzly Peak was one of the high points. It was an icon of the park. It's a Disney idea.
Yeah.
It's the weenie, right? Because you have to have a weenie in every park. And you're going to make the weenie somebody else's IP? That's
Right.
really dumb.
Right. And for those who don't understand the concept, Walt Disney likes to call the thing that you see that is like the big attraction, it's Cinderella's castle, that's the weenie. Spaceship Earth, that's the weenie. He liked hot dogs a lot. And the Tree of Life at Animal Kingdom would be one. MGM struggled at the start because they didn't have a weenie. They had the Earful Tower, and then they had that big sorcerer's hat that was placed in front of the Grown Man's Chinese Theater.
It was supposed to be Grumman's Chinese Theater. That for the longest time on all the packaging and everything else, you had one icon from every park in Florida. That's back when they didn't just have parks stuff; they had actual specific parks stuff. But that was one of the featured items was Grumman's. The replica of Grumman's was there because Eisner's concept idea for that was that you were doing Hollywood in Florida.
Right. So and that all went away as they literally destroyed the footprint of that. And I think Hollywood Tower Hotel is probably the closest thing to an icon.
That's what they use now
at Hollywood Studios, which there's a lot of history there that we won't get into right now. There used to be a giant Mickey there, and they ripped his ears off and put Sunset Boulevard in there. And most of us like Sunset Boulevard, but got rid of a big hidden Mickey there.
Did anybody here even see Avatar? Maybe Kultura? I didn't. I definitely didn't.
No, I didn't either. I heard some good reviews that said, "Oh, well, it's a family film." Yeah.
I found it to be a retread of the previous film. So that's what they're going to be. We did land, now let's do water. Now we're gonna do air. We're gonna do
that's not quite right. I think they're gonna do fire next time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I think the next one is literally like the Fire Tribe. They've already been talking about it.
So basically we're just going through each part of the fifth element, right? We have
Yes.
If Mila Jovovich in her prime shows up in the last one, I'll be there.
Hey, I'll show up now, all right, and I'll still be happy.
The multi-pass tribe. This conversation was originally part of TPP Live, which we do every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Feel free to hit the notification bell if you want to know when we do that. Of course, like this video if you like this video, share it out on social media if you know someone who might be interested, and we would be honored if you would subscribe to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.